Hey guys, Jacob from concealedcarry.com, and I am going to get geeky and nerdy today about dummy rounds, about snap caps, and I know that's a little bit weird. Now, I'm relatively new in the firearm industry. I know that if you really wanted to dig into the history of this, you went back 20, 30 years before I was involved in any of this stuff, you could find people making dummy rounds. I think the OG style was just to, in the same way you would reload a round, you just load a round without any powder in it. Maybe an empty primer or no primer at all, and that would work. But obviously the challenge there, safety-wise, is that hard to distinguish the real one from the one that's been hollowed out or that has no powder in it. But still today, I'll find people who have what looks like a round, but just has a hole either drilled in the side or through the primer, so that it's clearly marked or indicated as being a dummy round. But for me, my dummy round journey started with these. And perhaps before we get into this, we should clarify what dummy rounds are all about. I assume if you're watching this, you probably know. But dummy rounds are used for a lot of things. People use them certainly for educational purposes in order to teach people how to load guns, unload guns, function check guns. We use them for dry fire purposes, just to conduct dry fire, and that creates sometimes a little bit of a mess, a little bit of work with dummy rounds flying all around. But those are things that a lot of people still do. The primary way I use dummy rounds is I put them in my live mags when I go to the range to cause and induce malfunctions on purpose, so that I have the opportunity to practice clearing them to the best of my ability spontaneously or without notice. So those are all potential uses for dummy ammo. And for me, the first real dummy rounds I ever used were these. And you probably know them as snap caps. Snap caps, these for a long time were the big, high distributed, sold, marketed dummy round on the marketplace, and the snap cap is a registered, I think to this day still is, a registered trademark by the company who makes these. And so in the same way we call all facial tissues Kleenex, I think most people still just use snap caps to refer to all of these styles of things. But you won't hear me do that in this video, because obviously I'm trying to respect the company that makes these, and they own that trademark. So this is an actual snap cap. Now, when I first started using snap caps quite a bit, I ran into some issues, and we're going to get you some close-ups with the camera on this. But the first issue I ran into with snap caps is that these are painted, I think, aluminum. I'm no metallurgist or something, but I'm pretty sure it's aluminum. And the first issue you have is you start cycling these, you start getting paint chips in your gun. And in fact, when, this one I'm holding in my hand right now, before we started recording on the video, I pulled this out of a brand new package, and we cycled this through the gun 25 times. And you already can see the paint wearing off in certain spots. Not significantly, but enough that you get the sense that it's not going to last forever. And I remember at one point having about a dozen of these that all the paint was gone. They were basically just aluminum at that point, without any paint on them at all. And where do you think that paint goes? It ends up in your gun. Now, if you're cleaning your gun properly, maybe that's not a big deal. It's an acceptable hazard of using snap caps or whatever, and probably not the end of the world. But it is an annoyance. But when I really got concerned is after enough cycles of these, and by enough I mean probably about 50 to 100, you start to see aluminum shavings coming off. Now I'm getting specks not just of paint, but of metal in my gun. And I don't like that. Sometimes, in fact, on more than one occasion, I've had an entire ring of aluminum in my gun, where I've been looking at my gun like, after I get done doing some dry fire or something, you see that, and just a ring of metal. It's like, oh, I know where that came from. It came from my snap caps. And since then, we've seen a lot of companies try and improve on the snap cap and do a lot of things. But these are still what you tend to find in most of your retail stores. If you're going to a gun store or a big box, sporting goods store, these guys have really good distribution. It's probably what's out there for sale. But it does wear over time. Not only, like I said, are we stripping it of paint, and that paint has to go somewhere, but we start to put dents in or trim off chunks of aluminum as well, and that also has to go somewhere. Not to mention it just degrades the functionality of the product over time. And of course, I don't think that they're advertised as being, having some unlimited life cycle. So that was an acceptable deal at the time, but I think it could be improved on. The next thing I invested in when I got tired of finding aluminum shavings in my gun was another really popular dummy round from a company whose name I don't want to share, but they've been around a long time. They've been doing this a long time, and they were the first ones I saw that were using an actual brass shell casing. And I don't have any of their product with me here today, but what they basically did is they took a brass shell casing and they took what I assume is an injection molded piece of plastic, and they just stick it in the brass, and it fits in there tight. It doesn't come out easy or anything, but an important thing is that it left an empty primer cup. And that empty primer cup caused several problems. For one of the purposes of the dummy round is to protect your firing pin. So there's a little bit of debate over this topic. Some people feel like it doesn't do any damage to your firing pin to press the trigger on an empty chamber. But manufacturers disagree. They make it very clear that you're doing more damage to the firing pin by firing on an empty chamber than you would do if you had something there, a striking surface or striking material. And that's certainly the case. One of the reasons we use dummy rounds. So the old snap cap has that, albeit semi-ununiform shape there, but they have something in place. But this other company I'm referring to has an empty primer pocket. And in fact, I was out at a law enforcement training facility many years ago now, maybe 5 years ago, and they were having an issue with the firing pin getting stuck in the primer cup. And they had to disassemble the gun just to get the dummy round out. And you don't want that either. So we decided we'd start selling our own dummy ammo. And this I went and was able to dig up today in a drawer here at the office. And this is one of the original dummy rounds we used to sell. We had them in 9mm and 5.56, and they're injection molded, but they were hand poured, and they did have a complete filled shell casing. So the whole thing is filled with polymer all the way down to and including the primer cup, and that's really nice. But we had some, we sold these for years. We sold thousands of these. But we did have some less than ideal scenarios. For one, the nature of how these were manufactured led to a little bit of a too soft of a material. So they show a little bit too much wear on this plastic. The feeding shape wasn't perfect. And we had some certain guns that had some issues feeding this. And we think that, again, the material is just too soft as it relates to the firing pin strike surface as well. So about a year and a half ago, some investments were made and some changes were made to start working on a new process of doing this. And this pile is actually fun. This is the pile of prototypes that were produced that were rejected. So these are all dummy rounds that were produced that were rejected. And all of them, you might note here when you're looking at a close-up, they all have the same shape. They all fill the primer cup. They're all in a brass shell casing, and they all feed fine. The reason all these were rejected is because the polymer on these was either too hard or too soft. So trying to dial in, the strength of the plastic, that sounds like a weird thing to be all geeked out about. But it's got to be Goldilocks. It can't be too hard. It can't be too soft. Either of those increase the potential for damage, if you believe that that's a thing. And I know there's some debate, but it being too hard or too soft increases the potential for damage or increased levels of damage to the firing pin of the gun. And obviously, you want to err on the side of hard because you want this to last a long time for the user so they don't have to buy new ones. So these are all rejected prototypes, and these were the original prototypes we approved. So when these came, we did the testing and said, yep, this is the right density of material. And we're really proud of these. And now, earlier this year, just a couple months ago, we finally kind of rolled out the product line to all these different calibers. So now we're really thrilled to announce that we have dummy rounds in .380 auto, in 9mm, in .38 special, in .40 cal, in .45 ACP, and of course in 5.56. And these are all the upgraded materials. They're color coded as well, so .380 in blue, 9 and 5.56 are both in orange, .38 special in red, 40 in green, and 45 in yellow. And these are all high visibility colors that you can see really easily in the dirt, but allows you to distinguish one caliber from the next. And we think that's important. And we match the colors to the barrel block colors. So these are the same colors as barrel block. Here's a 9mm barrel block that I just had the gun a minute ago. And so you can see 9mm orange. So they're all really nice high visibility. The material in these is really thought out well. It's spec'd right. It's going to protect your firing pin. It's a single injection molded piece, so it's almost fused with the brass, for lack of a better word, the way this is done from the machine. So it's not like you're going to pull this out or it's going to come apart. This is really going to, you're not getting this apart. It's going to last like this forever, and it's because it's real brass, never fired brass. It's going to feed perfectly and flawlessly, just like real ammo would in your gun. And a lot of effort was made on the tapering and the shape of this actual bullet shape to maximize that it would feed properly and extract properly from all the different types of guns out there. So we're really proud of these. We're excited for you to have a chance to buy them now in all these different calibers. You can find them at readyupgear.com and at concealedcarry.com. From Denver, Colorado, this is Jacob Paulson signing off on this geeky dummy round video.